Hello and welcome to the next episode of the Interlocking Loops Flosstube. My name is Angela and this is a video about primarily cross stitch but some of my other crafty pursuits as well. It is Sunday, May 16th, 2021. Alright, let's talk about my progress with Stitchmaynia. So the month of May started off with the Blackbird weekend stitch along. And I've been working on the Song of Seasons Loose Feathers series for the Birds number 5 by Blackbird Designs. Blues and greens. Sorry for the glare. And I didn't do all of this that weekend, the first weekend in May, but this is what I worked on during that time. So this is my progress. I have the border to do. I have some small motifs up here, and then I think I'm going to be done with this project. Hopefully I'll get back to it this next weekend coming up, beginning of June, and get it finished up at that time. So it's coming along well. It's on coffee tea dyed Ada, 2 strands over 1 on with primarily DMC. Okay, we progressed from there to the new starts for Stitchmaynia. So I have been working on, for the last year or so, the Square Dance series by Heart and Hand. And last year at Stitchmaynia, I worked on this one for July in blues and greens. And this year, I started this one for the month of August. I did do some of my own conversion for colors, as I thought there seemed to like a lot of brown and I wanted a little bit less brown. I haven't got real far, but this is only a couple days of stitching. My schedule hasn't really permitted a whole lot of crafty endeavors, but I can get it started. It's also on coffee tea dyed Ada. The needle is still in the fabric for the month of August. So I think I'm brightening it up just a little bit, and hopefully in June I'll be able to get a finish on it. I'm not fully finishing any of those until I decide exactly how I want to display those. I'll be able to interchange those out each month, and I'm looking forward to having that. So, alright, so the next thing I started, one of my projects for the year of 2021 was to work on Brenda Gervais patterns. This particular one is Wordplay for the month of May, and it was one I wanted to get finished for the year, one of my 10 things. See, there's a cute little gal here, wheelbarrow, different things. There's the irises down here. I point those out because that's part of the stuff I've been able to accomplish on this pattern. I'm using just a mixture of all kinds of flosses, DMC, fancy floss, whatever seems to trip my trigger at the time, and this is what I've got accomplished over just a couple days of stitching in the evenings a little bit. So I do really like irises, and that's coming along well. It's on 18 count rustic Ada. I do want to point out these little bees. Aren't these adorable? I don't know how well you can see those, but they are so cute. So this will be one that will get finished this year so I can cross it off my list. I've already completed December, then January through April, and this will be May, and then maybe next year I'll work on June and July. So I'm making progress. So Country Stitches Online is Brenda Gervais' online shop, and that's where I was able to find the patterns. Otherwise they're hard to find at just your normal cross stitch shops anymore. Another one I started just a few days ago and have been working on is not one that was initially on my radar to start this month. However, one of the ones I wanted to start was also by Stitching with the Housewives, and while I didn't get a start on it, I did get the itch to do the flea market flowers. This with the cute pink truck and all the flowers coming out of it. Isn't that adorable? I just think that's cute. They had a Mother's Day sale on their patterns at 20% off. I don't know how many took advantage of that. I did, and I'll show you the patterns I bought here shortly. This is what I have done. It's on chalkboard, 14 count chalkboard, Ada from down Sunshine Lane. That's where I seem to find this consistently every time. And here are the flosses I've decided to use on it. So I did make a mistake, and with the R in market should be one higher. But I think I'm going to leave it as it is. And I'll be able to finish this up pretty quick in the month of June. So I'm looking forward to that. So as far as things I started for Stitchmaynia, those are the ones I've been started on so far during the month. Now we know it's the 16th. We're over halfway there. I did take a poll on Instagram, and so far it's coming out regarding the next pattern I want to start. The question was, it's the Basket of Cherries Garden Club Series number 1 by Blackbird Designs. And I wanted my colors to look a lot like theirs in the picture as opposed to what was called for. So I did change those a little bit. And trying to decide, their fabric is more of the prim look. I point that out because of the two options I've been considering. Is more of an ivory and more of the coffee tea dyed prim look. I think the flosses will go either way, but it looks like on Instagram, the poll that's currently going has got it going on the coffee tea dyed, like the pattern. So that probably will be the way I will go. Oh, I think it'll be pretty. So that I hope to start tomorrow. So that'll be my next start for Stitchmaynia, and I'm looking forward to doing that. So then the next one I'm going to tell you about that I want to start by the end of the week, because I do a new start about every 4 days, or at least that's my plan, will be Patriotic Poppies by Brenda Gervais. And that will be on coffee tea dyed as well. And this is kind of the rundown. For the most part, it's called for colors, and that's a coffee tea dyed fabric I'll be using. So I'll have this started before we talk again. There may be another start I get done before then, but these are for sure ones I will work on this week, barring anything crazy happening. So let's talk about acquisitions. So has been the craze with some of these cross-stitch bags, and I just love the looks of those, but I'm never fast enough to get in when some of the beautiful bags go up on Instagram. I'm never quick enough to be able to get one, but I scoured Etsy here the month of April and found it's number 12 Stitch Co. on Etsy, and that's the word number, the number 12, the word stitch, and then co. From, I believe it's Australia. And I bought these 2 bags. I bought this one because I absolutely loved it. Isn't that pretty? And here's the back. Very well made. There's a cute little charm here that I haven't even unwrapped. It's included. There's the holder if you want to put your scissors on here, or your threads as you have those out, not to lose those. And nicely done coordinating interior. And of course it couldn't go by itself, right? All the way from Australia? That's a long trip. So I ended up buying a second one. And I believe this is primarily out of Lori Holt fabric. A different cute little charm. The back is in her cross-stitch fabric. How appropriate. And the inside has a pretty dot lining. I'm thrilled with them. The shipping took longer than estimated, but I think shipping anywhere from anywhere to anywhere is taking longer these days. I'm not quite sure why. So it did take an extra 2.5 weeks longer than expected, but it did come just this last week, and I'm thrilled. It's exactly what I wanted. So I have yet to put a cross-stitch project in there, as you can tell, but that'll be up and coming for sure. I did mention earlier that Stitching with the Housewives had some patterns that were, they put everything on 20% off for Mother's Day. So I brought several cute ones, including some of their fall ones. This one's in the What's in My Cup fall series, Hello Fall, with a cute little fox. He's adorable. These are fairly quick to stitch, and before we know it, we'll be stitching for fall. It seems like time is going so fast. Another one for fall is Gobble, also from the What's in My Cup. Can you tell that fat little turkey on top of there? He's adorable. I haven't done a lot of fall stuff. It seems like I get started with Christmas presents, but I intend this year to do a better job of it. And then I just love some of the seeds and the tiered tray tidbits. I did tomato seeds before, and this is daisy seeds with the daisies. That'll look nice as a small pillow. Then I also bought the sweet corn seeds. That's one of their newer ones. And I hope the colors are coming across pretty well. I do look forward to sweet corn time. I'm sure pretty much anybody that's going to be growing sweet corn around here has got their seeds in the ground. The last one I purchased is Land of the Free from the Tiered Tray Tidbits. A nice patriotic one. So adorable. Let's see, I also, one of my goals for this year, of the 10 things I'd like to get accomplished this year crafty, was to do the sew as you go quilting, or quilt as you go. And I talked earlier, next year I'd like to make a goal to do a quilt in that fashion, but a baby step toward that is to do a quilt as you go for some hot pads, for like taking things in and out of the oven or out of the microwave that are hot. And I did go ahead and I have most of the things for that. I do not have thread, but I did decide on the fabric. From Lori Holt, the Farm Girl Vintage, I bought the 10-inch squares, and there's a whole variety of colors in here. I figured I could make a variety of those as gifts, and that would give me some good practice for next year, maybe to go ahead and do a small quilt. So I'm excited about that. Another purchase I made that I don't think I talked about before, and I actually have it kitted up already. Everything except the fabric is Sweet Summer Come Again by Blackbird Designs. I've seen several pictures on Instagram and Facebook lately of people that have finished this one, and it is so adorable, and it is getting to be strawberry season before we know it here in the month of June, at least around here. And I have the DMC conversions for that, and the colors are going to be very pretty. So I hope to work on that in the month of June as well. So then I did make another purchase from Misty Purcell of Luminous Fiber Arts. I bought some of her fabric. She also, not only does she dye linens, but she dyes Aida fabric. I bought in 2 different counts, a soft porcelain and a 16 and an 18 count. And that is this one right here. Let's see. I can hold that up to some white and you can kind of get an idea of what the color, it's very pretty. And then another one I bought that she has dyed in 2 colorways, also a 16 and an 18, is in her Soft Sea. And that's really pretty, a really pretty blue. And I'm thinking one of the things I thought maybe I'd be able to start this month I believe it's the Spring ABCs by Little House Needleworks. At least I think that's correct. Anyway, and it's a long, narrow one, and I think this fabric, one of these fabrics may be just the right thing for one of those. So I haven't made any firm decisions on that, but I hope to start that before the very end of the month of May, but the rate I'm going, if any of them get dropped off, it'll be that one, because I still have a few more I want to go ahead and start. You've seen the ones for this week I want to start. There's still a couple more for the following week I want to get started as well, so I'll just keep chugging along. Okay, let's talk about other crafts, other things I've been working on. Socks, yes, still knitting all the socks. This yarn is by Opal, and I can't speak German, but this is what it's from. I believe I bought this from Simply Socks Yarn Company. And here's how it kind of looks from the end. And I'm knitting these on DPNs as my usual from the cuff down. 64 stitches around on a US 1. They're done on DPNs. That's also a 2.25 millimeter needle. And they're different shades of blues. Some grays, which will look good with any jeans I'm going to wear. So hopefully I did quite a bit of this knitting today. There is a chance I may get the toe finished because that's the next part, and then the first sock will be done. So if not, maybe I can get it finished tomorrow. So, and then I can be on to the second sock. So it's a good travel project. I've been working on it primarily actually in the morning and not even traveling with it. It's been going with me, just not getting worked on. We've had a lot of crazy going on. I think I alluded to some of that on the last video. My daughter's graduated from college, summa cum laude. That's really exciting for us. Quite an honor for her. She's worked very hard. We moved her from one apartment to another. My son, in the meantime, has finished up his spring semester at graduate school, and he's back home for at least another couple weeks. He's been home for about 2, and he'll be home for another 2 more before he goes off and does some of his activities this summer. My daughter's track season just finished up just yesterday, and yes, the track season did go beyond when she graduated. She got another personal best at a relay at a meet that was over the last 2 days, which is wonderful. She really enjoys that. And then she starts working in the chemistry lab more or less full-time starting tomorrow. So we're getting ready to think about looking for an apartment. She'll be going to UW-Madison up in Wisconsin, starting fall classes for graduate school. And if anybody has any suggestions what to look for, what not to look for, any apartment complexes that are the way to go or really not the way to go, if you have comments on that, don't hesitate to comment below and kind of give me any advice, as of course we do live out of state from there, and you know, we need all the help we can get, you know. Let's see, my niece graduated college yesterday, and she moved to her apartment today, and she starts her next part of her education, I believe by the end of the month, to get a nursing degree. She eventually is going for a nurse practitioner, and that's exciting. Her brother is graduating from high school here by the end of the month, and his party is next weekend. We've been really busy. It's been great though. Time just seems like it's going really fast now. Through a lot of COVID, it just crept along, and now it's picked up steam. I haven't had as much time to work on any of the crafty things as I'd like. My work employment has changed. The company I was with has been dissolved, and it's now been bought by another company, and there's been extra work in the evenings on that, so a lot of times I get maybe an hour total to do any crafting altogether, which has cut my time down. But I'm hoping by the time June rolls around, I'll have more of that under control. The training will be all completed, and I'll have a better handle on things, and the crafting time will increase again. So I got my fingers crossed on that one. That's about all for this episode. We'll be able to do chores here outside shortly. It's been raining, intermittently raining the last few days, and it is also raining now. It's warming up, but it's getting soggier as we're going along. Feel free to message me on Instagram, follow me there, If you want to know about my crafty pursuits, I'll be putting up pictures of some of these projects in the next 24 hours or so, and that'll be on the Interlocking Loops on Instagram. If you'd like to follow farm activities, right now there's just a lot of mud out there, not a whole lot to take pictures of, but as soon as there is, you can follow me on Ridgedale Farms on Instagram. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you again really soon. Bye-bye.